haven't really checked off my progress, and I've actually added to the list as I go further along. I realize there are things that aren't on the list, and so I'm going to go ahead and check off some of the things that I have done since I did this last. So I did actually order my roof rack, and I decided that I'm going to go ahead and have my roof rack installed by the people who are making it. And the reason is they're down in San Diego, so I can schedule a day off from work and go down there, and they'll install it in about 3 hours and charge me $250 to do it. Whereas if I have them ship it to me, it'll cost $450 for them to ship it. Then I've got to figure out a way to get this thing on top of the van and get it anchored in. Now, I've watched video on how you anchor it. It's pretty straightforward and not that difficult, but it's the getting it up onto the van that would be a little bit tricky, because even though it's aluminum, it has some weight to it. And if I can get it done cheaper than I can have it shipped, I'd be dumb not to do it that way. So there's a long lead time on this because during COVID, everyone and their uncle is doing van conversions. So they are very, very busy. And they actually make these for people who live in Canada, Mexico, all over the place, because they're very well known for their roof racks. And it will come with a ladder. So I'll be able to get up and down off of the top of the van to be able to take care of my solar. And there's actually going to be a platform. So the grandkids and I can climb up there. We can sleep on top of the van if we want to, because of the type of solar panels like I got. So I can't wait, but it won't be done until, I think they said April 30th. So I have quite a while to wait, but I also have a lot to do, so it's not that big of a deal. So I haven't removed the door panels yet. Every time I'm in the van, I think about this. And I have chosen my layout, but I haven't done the mock-up yet because I actually want to get the walls and everything in place before I actually do that. Although I've drawn it up so that I know where my electrical wires need to run. There's going to be some 110 outlets. So I know where those things are going to be, USB outlets, things like that. So I'll be able to take care of that, but I am then going to want to build a mock-up before I actually build my cabinets, because I will use that mock-up again as a template to build those cabinets. So let's see, I have not done the bed rails yet, the wiring. The insulation is going to be the thing that I do after I get my framing complete. I have installed my flooring, which you all saw. The subfloor is done. My gray water tank is done. I haven't done the shower pan itself, but I did do the frame for the shower pan, so that is in progress. And I haven't done all of the anchor rails, but I have done the ceiling. Build the frame for the fresh water tank. I haven't done that. Install fresh water, no propane locker. Install seat belts. I am building the bench seat, the metal frame for the bench seat, so that is in progress. Shower walls, not yet. Not building the battery bank shelf yet. No plumbing yet, but I have all the parts and pieces for these things, so I'm super excited about that. And then on the back of this one, I have installing the ceiling lights, walls, outlets, DC charger, which will go from the battery of the van to my battery bank, so that when I'm driving, it will automatically charge the batteries. When I'm not driving, it will not draw power from the van battery, which will be great. Panels, install electrical components, none of that yet. This is going to be part of the framing that I do, and then design the tube frame for the seats. That is done. You saw it in one of my most recent videos, and it should actually be complete within the next week. So I will be driving to Fontana to pick that up, and I can't wait to see how it works. I've got some other little things that I need to figure out. For example, the frame is going to come up high enough above the actual back of the seat so that the shoulder straps will be in the right location to come down. Otherwise they'd be too low and they'd kind of come right over your shoulder. That would be uncomfortable. I want this to be safe for my grandkids to sit at in their booster seats. So that's why I designed the metal frame, so that I can anchor it to the van, and the seat belt will be attached to this frame so that, you know, if we got into an accident, they would stay secure in that location, and it wouldn't all be built onto like a metal or wooden frame, which would be super irresponsible and not safe. So, but what I do need to do so that anyone sitting isn't going to bump their head on the top metal rail that I have where the shoulder strap will attach, I'm going to design and build some headrests that are padded, that will match the seat cushions. So I've got to work the bugs out of that. I go to bed thinking of these things, and then I wake up in the morning and it's like I wake up with the idea in my head. So my brain must be working while I sleep. I kind of have a picture of what I want to do, but I'm going to have to maybe do a dry run, do a mock-up of one, and, you know, work out the kinks. But anyways, that's it. And I'm going to post this video, give you an idea of things to come. There's a lot more things that need to be added to this list. I just haven't gotten there yet. I try not to look at this list too much, except for go, okay, what was the next thing that I need to do? Because if I look at the entire list and everything that I still have to do, I tend to get a little bit overwhelmed because I want it to go faster. But then if I take a look at this and I look at everything that I've checked off so far, I've really gotten a lot done, and that makes me excited to see the progress that's being made. So it's pretty cool. I'm glad that you guys are following me along with this. I want you to subscribe to my channel, not because I'm looking to have a crap load of subscribers, and I'm also not looking to monetize my YouTube channel because you have to be like off the charts in popularity. That's not my goal here. My goal here is that friends, family, coworkers, anyone who's interested in following me along on this journey can kind of do that. And if you subscribe and then hit the notification bell, then every time I post a new video, you guys will get notified that, hey, Erin posted a new video if you want to go take a look at it. So that's the only reason I'm doing this. Also, if you have ever thought about doing a van conversion, I don't know any of my friends that or family that have thought that. Mostly everybody thinks I'm kind of nuts for doing this, I think. It's one of two ways. My daughter Sarah told me yesterday that she will make a comment to people, you know, so my mom's doing the van life thing and blah, blah, blah. She'll go on with the conversation, and then her friends go, wait a minute, what do you mean your mom's doing the van life thing? And so Sarah will kind of explain it to them, and then she says, my mom is either crazy, or really cool. And I said, well, maybe a little bit of both, right? So I am going to be doing a video answering questions that I've gotten from people about why I'm doing this, like what's my plan. A lot of times when people watch these, they go, so are you gonna live in the van? And I'm like, yes, that is my plan, but I have bigger plans beyond that. Like living in the van isn't a permanent situation for me. I'll keep the van because it'll be awesome to take, you know, weekend trips and do traveling and all of those things. But my long-term goal is not to remain living in this van until I'm, you know, old and dead. My plan is, well, I'm going to go into what my plan is in another video. So if you guys have any questions about what I've done so far, what I'm going to be doing, comments on whether or not I've done things accurately or not accurately. If it's something we've already done and it's covered, too bad, so sad if it's not accurate, because I'm not going to tear things out to go back in and redo it, unless it's, you know, like a critical thing. So please speak now before I get too much further into like closing things up. But I want you guys to comment and ask me questions so that when I do the video where I'm answering people's questions about what I'm doing, you guys will be able to have your question answered. My mom had some friends of hers visit last weekend, maybe 7 to 10 days ago, and the husband was asking my mom a ton of questions like, what is she doing? She's giving up her house, she's gonna live in the van. Well, Bonnie, how do you feel about that? And my mom kept saying, I don't know, Dave. I don't. Ask Erin. So Dave, if you have any questions for me or concerns, because I know that there's sort of that, you have daughters, there's that, you know, concern, what if your daughters were doing this, whatever. So I've thought through this. I'm excited about the adventure, and I want to answer questions if anybody has any, if you're interested at all. But I am going to do that just to kind of give some background on how long I've been thinking about this and what my ultimate goal is for myself and for retirement. And that does not include living in a van permanently, but it will be for a while. So stay tuned and watch that video.